Here he is. Here's that piece of hair that always likes to make an appearance every time I make a video. Hi guys, it's me, Julia. How do you like this? Regular videos. What? Okay, so what we're doing today is the foundation roundup. What's a foundation roundup? Well, it's rare I round up all of my foundations and talk to you about them and tell you what I think of them. And kind of do a clean out at the same time. So I started doing this a couple of years ago with mascaras, doing the mascara roundup, but I don't buy as many mascaras anymore. But what I have been buying a lot of lately is foundations. And what I've concluded is it's darn near impossible to find something that works for somebody who's got truly like dehydrated, dry skin. Lots of people have dry skin. Lots of people have, prone to dry skin. Lots of people have normal skin with some dryness, but I'm talking like your skin constantly feels tight and itchy and flaky no matter how much. You can pile on like handfuls of moisturizer and thick moisturizing creams and layer your moisturizing creams and put oil on your face and then mix oil in your foundations and mix foundations with moisturizer and you still have dry skin. That's how you know you have truly dry, dehydrated skin. So it's really hard to find foundations that will work for that skin type. So basically what I'm looking for in a foundation is something that enhances my skin, doesn't necessarily cover everything. Like you can still see my red cheeks come through or, just my natural skin tone, but I want my skin to look like glowy without looking illuminated, if that makes any sense. I just like a nice polished, nice looking skin, looks like skin, So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I have found some foundations that are actually working. And the other thing is it's kind of hard to find them at the drugstore, but there's a couple that I found that are pretty good. So I'm going to go over all of these and let you know. So first up is my latest foundation. This is the Stila Perfect and Correct foundation. Now it says it's supposed to diminish the look of fine lines and wrinkles, minimize pores, hydrate and balance, and help control oil. So that's kind of, even though this is, I got onto this because I read about it in one of those, 10 best moisturizers or foundations or whatever. And it actually recommended this for people with dry skin. And again, it's one of those ones, I think it would work best for people who are like normal to dry or have some dryness, not necessarily truly dry skin, because it is a little bit heavy. The color is a little weird in this one. I find it's an odd one. I have the shade Fair, but it's really yellow. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's really quite yellow. But it looks nice on the skin. Like it has a really nice finish and it has that ability to kind of combine with your skin and look like skin. It's not sitting on top of your skin. It doesn't look powdery on the skin. It doesn't look cakey. It just kind of melds with your skin and becomes one with your skin. So I really like that, except it does feel a little heavy on the skin. And I don't think it's the best for truly dry, dehydrated skin. But again, I'm at that time of year where everything looks bad. So it's like my harshest time of the year. I think this might be better for me, like not necessarily summer because I don't like a heavy foundation in the summer, but I'll have to keep you posted on that. So this is fairly new. I'm keeping that one. I'm pretty much keeping everything that I have, but I just wanted to go over things with you. Then one that I really like from the drugstore is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion. And I'm going to do a full my thoughts on video on this coming up. So I didn't want to go into too much detail in this video, but from the drugstore, this is awesome. And lots of people are talking about this and liking it. I really like it. What's nice about it is it has the L'Oreal True Match Lumi formula, but it's even better. So it just looks like a really nice high-end foundation on your skin. The only complaint that I have about it is it's $20 at the drugstore and you only get half an ounce. So I've been using this every day for about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and it's already, I've flipped you can take the sponge out, I flipped it over, I've kind of like massaged whatever product there is into it, tried to work more product into the sponge, and I find like the middle is kind of getting dried out. There's still lots of product around the edges, but when you patch your foundation, like your sponge in, it's taking me a lot longer to get foundation out. So it doesn't last very long, and it's $20. So for the price, I don't know. I'm really on the fence with this one because I love it, but it's like it's run out already. Like I'm having a hard time getting enough product on the sponge to do my face these days. So I really do like the finish though. It has an amazing, like I said, glowy finish without looking like you've got glitter on your face. It just, your skin looks so dewy and young and just really great. And you don't look like you're wearing foundation. It's very light coverage, but you actually can build it a little bit. So I really like this one from the drugstore, and you can watch for my complete thoughts on this in an upcoming video. And just in case you're wondering, I'm number N2, Ivory. I think that's what it was called. Classic Ivory. Moving on to something a little bit more high-end, this is the Estee Lauder Perfectionist Youth Infusing Makeup. Now, I have branched out this past year into more expensive foundations just because I really feel like I've exhausted the drugstore. I really like the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion, and I like the L'Oreal True Match Lumi as well. I find that those are really good from the drugstore for dry, dehydrated skin. A lot of people swear by the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the Hydrate and Smooth version. And I have used that twice. It's a fuller coverage, dewy foundation, so it's a little bit heavier on the skin. The problem that I have with that is just the way that it wears. It kind of goes patchy throughout the day on me. And I find that the color is off on that one. So I've tried it twice. Like I've really tried to give it a go. And like I'm not seeing what everybody else loves about it. I do think it's good, but it's just not, like there's something about it that stops me from loving it, I guess. But the Estee Lauder Perfectionist is somewhat similar to the Maybelline Fit Me in its formulation. Like it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit fuller coverage, but there's just something about this that goes on so smoothly onto your skin and just, again, melds with your skin, makes it look like skin, not like you've got foundation sitting on top of your skin. So this is what I reserve this for days where I want a little bit fuller coverage. So, you know, if I'm going out or if I have a special occasion during the day, because it is a little bit heavier, like I said, a little bit fuller coverage, but the finish of it is beautiful. Like it is a really nice foundation. And the only other thing that I'll say about it that is kind of a con for me is that I find it doesn't build very well, but if you put a good first coverage on, it's okay. But I find it kind of gets patchy if you try to build it too much. So I do love it though. I think it's really nice. It's probably the first higher end foundation that I tried that I really liked because it was the right formula for my dry skin. So I can definitely recommend that. And I am in the shade 1N1, which is Ivory Nude. So it's like their palest neutral color, shade, whatever. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about tinted moisturizers, and I have the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Illuminizing, and I have just the regular tinted moisturizer in the shade Nude, and I have Bare Radiance. So let's talk about this one. So I'm not wearing this right now in the winter time because I find, first of all, the shade is a little bit too dark for me, but I find tinted moisturizers can be quite drying. Like they feel a little thick on the skin and they can be drying, or like they just make my skin feel dry. So in the summertime, when I'm not like crazy dry, still very dry, but not super uber dry, I find this is really nice. It's just easy to wear. It's got really good coverage, really good staying power, because sometimes you use a tinted moisturizer and I find they just kind of disappear. So this does actually have really nice staying power, and it's got a nice finish, and I quite like it. Nude is a little bit dark for me. There's a shade that's lighter than that, but I find these little 30 ml sizes that you can get like in the Isle of Doom at Sephora, they're much cheaper if you buy 2 of these as opposed to 1 of the 50 mils. So it's a good little tip. It's a little bit dark for me, but it's the only shade they offer in the small size, and I can make it work. And the price is really good. It's a way to get it a little bit cheaper, get a little bit of a discount. But I wanted to try the Illuminating Tinted Moisturizer because I like illuminating things, and I never have really a bad issue with things being too radiant, like, oh, you look like somebody gold leafed your face. Then I tried this, and it's like really illuminating. It's actually to me like an illuminator, like a liquid illuminizer or illuminator. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's like super shiny. I kind of leave this. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use it because I paid so much money for it. But it almost works better as a primer for me underneath like a lighter weight foundation because it's so glowy. Like when I put it on all over my face, I do look like I dipped my face into kind of gold because it's kind of got like this goldy, champagne-y color. It's too much glow. It's very, very similar to her Radiance Foundation Primer. They've got that same like super glow going on, but I don't like wearing this on its own, even though that's what it's designed for, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But out of all the tinted moisturizers that I've tried, I find that that one is the best, like just her, like her regular one. She's got a couple of different formulations, one for oilier skin, and this is just the tinted moisturizer, lightweight, flawless coverage. It's not even the oil-free one. It's nice. Okay, that was a lot of rambling about tinted moisturizer. Next, I'm going to talk about two Rimmel foundations, and these are, well, here, let's go with this one. This is probably, like, if I had a Holy Grail foundation, this would be it. This is like my third bottle of this in the last year and a half. So that's how much I like it, especially when you see how many other foundations that I go through in a year and how much I keep in my collection at any one time. I am in the shade 101 Classic Ivory. It's the Rimmel Match Perfection Light Perfecting Radiant Sunscreen Foundation. So it's got a broad spectrum of an SPF of 18. So for the longest time, Canada had the concealer for this, but we didn't have the foundation. Just recently, I noticed that they've brought out the foundation, and I'm so happy because I had to buy this in the States and then order it from the States. So the last time I ordered it, it was really expensive because the dollar is so low. But this is the best foundation that I have used at the drugstore. It is amazing. It's just, it has, first of all, I wish they had a pump. It's the only foundation from Rimmel that, whoa, that's really liquidy, and I've just made a big mess. So it's the only foundation, that's why you need a pump. It's the only foundation from Rimmel that has a pretty decent-ish, lightly speaking, shade range. Rimmel foundations are notoriously too like dark and pinky. This has got a shade that's light enough for me to use, and they actually have a shade that's lighter. So people who are paler than I am, I'm a MAC NC15. Anybody who's lower than that, there's actually a shade that's lighter for that. It has just the, look at how much is on my hand now. It has a really nice lightweight feel to it, but it's got like a good medium buildable coverage. And it has a really beautiful kind of fresh skin finish to it. I just think it's a fabulous foundation from the drugstore. It's like $6. It's got SPF in it. It's got a beautiful finish. It's got good staying time. It's just a really, really good foundation. Like I said, my holy grail. Now, when I couldn't get that, I tried the Lasting Finish with Comfort Serum. And this is somewhat similar. It's a skin perfecting full coverage foundation, and it's got Comfort Serum in it. I don't think it has an SPF. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes foundations that say they have an SPF in other countries don't say SPF in Canada because we've got different regulations. So I'm not sure if this one actually comes with an SPF. But anyway, it says it's skin perfecting full coverage foundation. I don't think it's full coverage. I think it's like medium buildable again. So it's similar in coverage to the Lasting Perfection. This is a little bit more geared towards people who have normal skin to combination skin and oilier skin, as opposed to those of us with super dry skin. But when my skin is not crepe dry, I can actually wear this. It's a little bit heavier. It is a little bit fuller coverage, but it's, again, a really nice foundation. And like, I'm talking about them so much because from the price point, they've done such a nice job. Like, there's so many cheaper foundations at the drugstore from bigger companies. Not that Rimmel's small or anything, but you know, like CoverGirl or Maybelline or Revlon, that are not as good as these, and they're cheaper. My last one. So my last one is another fairly new one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation. I really like this. I didn't want to like it because it's high end, but to be honest, it's the same price as the Estee Lauder one. It's the same price as the Laura Mercier. So you're looking at, you know, under $60. So it's like, I think it's $55 for 40 mils. So not bad. I hate the fact that I'm in a stage in my life where that's not bad anymore, like $55. And I'm in no way saying that this is a cheap foundation or that it's really, when you come down to it, any better than these $6 ones from Rimmel, but it is a very nice foundation. And there is, so this is very illuminating. It's very lightweight. It's very glowy, but again, without being sparkly. It just gives your skin a really nice, again, a fresh kind of youthful dewiness without, like, and when I say dewy, it just, you know, that plump, like, oh, you just came out of the shower and your skin is damp and it's all nice and glowy and fresh looking. That's what I mean by that. It's in no way do I look like I do when I put this on, the tinted, the illuminating tinted moisturizer, where you look like you spray painted gold on your face. That's not what this looks like. It's just a really nice, makes your skin look youthful and glowy and really good. So if you don't mind splashing out a few more dollars, I would highly recommend this, the Light Wonder foundation. It is buildable. Like, I can go back in and build up over areas. It's best if you apply it with your fingers because you can really blend it in with the skin and get that lightweight coverage. I think it's worth it. I really like it. And if we were saying, would you repurchase? I would definitely repurchase this over the Laura Mercier because I think that this has got the kind of coverage that I can wear year round. So I really like that one. So there you go. That's my foundation roundup. So you know what I'm using on this face on a daily basis and what I like, what I don't like. And that's all I'm going to say. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you on Monday. Bye.